27 November 2020. This was like the first time I went home after a very long 3 months of my life. You can imagine the pain I was feeling walking like that. The tears I was holding back, seeing everybody, my family, people I haven't seen in such a long time. I remember I was weeping when I got to that car, when I got to that position, which way Abapanzi showed me from the previous day, because they already showed me. But because I had to prove in front of everybody, the people whom I know very well that don't even like me, like they, just to see for themselves. It was not to support, but they wanted to witness it. And then in Abapan's said they wanted to put a man. Apparently that's the most stubborn cow. And usually it represents you, the type of person you are spiritually, before it departs and send all your messages to your ancestors, to your underground care. So now this was the first time I came back home from a Petro. Right? Petro number one. Oh. I don't know how to share this with you, but I will. I made it. Like, I went through all of that and I came on alive. I know I'm gonna say I went through all that shit and I kept my head high. I know that I'm gonna say now it was in now I can hear my ancestors. I know that one day I'm going to come here and tell you that we are fine. We made it. Like everything's fine. All these tears didn't go to waste. But right now, I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel. I feel as if like it was I thought I was going to be reviewing Ukuthwasa, the reality show episode 9 today, but it's just so triggering. I figured that I don't have anything to say. Like, I don't have anything to say. I don't know what to come here and say because it's so triggering. Guys, that is why I don't even, like, that's not my cup of tea. I have a disclaimer. Before you watch this video, just know that this particular clip is going to have external noises because someone is cutting the lawn somewhere near my house. I waited over like an hour to 2 and this person is still doing their job. Sometimes via umshini and then I try to sit down and film, but then it doesn't necessarily stop. So I cannot just sit and wait for that particular person to get done with what they're doing for me to work, because I had planned that I'm doing this video today. So please bear with me. If you hear that particular noise, I'll try to cover it up. I don't know how, but I think I'm going to do that. So let's get straight into the video. Victoria, if you were to ask me for my name, I wouldn't know which name to necessarily give you, because I have 5 names and counting. I have 2 government names. I have 3 names as Pungamato name. Now, my first name is Labhang, popularly known as Victoria S, your ultimate fave, or Goddess, here on my YouTube channel, because my second name is Victoria. My third name, which is Igama Ledlozla Sekaya, which I got or obtained in 2020 when I first got initiated to become a sangoma, said. Now ngihamba namadlozi amabili. I have two closes, udungamanzi nomkhuluma fele entabeni. So that is the brief, or rather the short way to kind of explain the whole situation with my names. Victoria is a sister, Victoria is a sangoma, Victoria is a businesswoman and a content creator. Not a girlfriend. At least not for now. Well, yeah, Victoria is a sister, Victoria is a sangoma, Victoria is a prophet, she's a mentor, spiritual mentor, Victoria is a content creator, and yeah, man, that's just me. And if I had to explain myself as a character, I would say
smile keep.
I'm able to stand up from the tables that don't serve me, which is why if you may say, that is why Yamasangon. That is why I don't fall under whatever, I don't know what to call it in English. I don't fall under any association Yamasangoma, So if I see that this table is not serving me, or if I see that this is not the table that God has showed me, table is not for me, I stand up and leave, because I know how my table looks and I know which people I want on my table. And me leaving your table is just, I think it's God saying those people are going to be looking at you when I prepare your table. So I'm not calling you my enemies, I'm just saying, because the minute I stand up, you are going to be worried about my progress, everything that I do, and you are going to be checking my social media and watching this video all at the same time. No cap, no shade. So I was born and raised in Deneysville. I went to school JJ Kubeka from when I was 7 years. When I started going to primary school, and then something was always shady about my childhood, because I would see people, I would hear people who are no longer alive. I could communicate with them, I could see them.
Ha ke bua ka nkgono wa hae, ke bua ka motho a seng a iketse boya batho. Ke mo nkileng ka elellwa hore ngwanana o na le moya, mara ha ka ka kenya kelellong.
I would dream of things and people would come to school to attack me. And when I'm saying people, I'm talking grown people. Like, yeah, I'm talking about people who are grown, people who live around me. I remember this particular woman came to me at school to attack me because I was a kid. I was a kid and I was seeing things. So I opened up to my friends and I told them how I saw her flying at night. And then now somebody had told that woman, and then that woman came to me to attack me at school, telling me and stuff. But then I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't even know it was a gift. But I remember an incident that happened when I think I was still like a foundation phase when this happened, because I was sick. I was constantly sick. My ears were always like, I always had my finger in my ear and doing that thingy, because I was hearing things. I was hearing people call my names. I was having lucid dreams. It was crazy. So yeah, man, I had a problem with my ears, and then my mom had to take me to somebody, and that somebody was recommended by her sister, because her sister just came back from initiation, yeah, or something. And then now she said that she wouldn't want to be the one who tells my parents that she doesn't want to bear those wounds. And then my parents took me to that particular woman, and then that woman said, and I quote,
Ngwanana o na le neo, and e tla re ha le the age of 9 years o tla be a fehlelwa.
I couldn't understand what they're saying, and she wanted me to agree with it. Wa fihlela nke ga o na le 9 years, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. So that particular person was like the only, my mother's sister was like the only person who had got training, spiritual training that I knew of, because I grew up at home and it was a tight family. It was just the three of us, me, my mom, and my dad, and they kept me so close all the time because they knew that I saw things, and I saw things and people didn't like that, because I would be playing around with some kids from around, and it would cause like, you know, it would cause havocs because I would say something, because I'm a kid, bro. I want you to think about it. I'm a kid. It would get me to trouble, and sometimes in J it was not giving. And then that's how I started I didn't even start isolating myself. My parents isolated me. I was just like that person who's always isolated, staying at home and everything. And then in another incident that I could think of, I don't remember anything happening to me that I could say this thing is spiritually, when I was in Nomsa Secondary School, because from JJ Kubeka went straight to Nomsa Secondary School, and if you're from around, you know that they are neighboring schools. So just went to Nomsa Secondary School. I attended there up until I was in grade 10. I was 16. And funny part is that I actually passed for admission to grade 11. And then when I got that, I sooner just wanted to go away. A lot was going on, because I want you to bear in mind I was a teenager, started dating, and obviously everything just becomes blurry spiritually. You go through multiple spiritual awakenings. You think it's depression. It looks like anxiety, but you don't know what it is. So it was that I was suffering from those a lot. I could say I was depressed. I was A lot of things were happening, man. I want you to understand that it was my teenage years. It was hectic, it was chaotic. When I was 16, it was the 15th of June. I remember very well. I remember I went to church with my best friend of that time. We went to church, and it was a born again Christian church. We went to that church, and when we got there, they were praising Jesus' name. They were praising Jesus. They were singing praises. They were just telling the revolution, they were giving the revolution, or they were giving the gospel to the congregation. It was amazing, and that was like my first experience like that. I didn't understand a thing that was going on. I felt so touched by the Holy Spirit, and I decided there and then that when they say "Ke bo mang ba tlang ka pele who are going to accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior, and say, I'm taking Jesus from today onwards, you're going to be, a born again Christian." And I just remember standing up there and then and leaving her sitting down. I went in front and I accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And I knew from that day that my Redeemer is living. I was at church, I think, 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Sunday, obviously. So it was 4 times a week. I was still in Nomsa Secondary School. I was like, it was giving. I even changed churches from that particular one where I got to accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. I went to the other church where my aunt went. My aunt was attending. I went to that particular church, and then from there, I don't remember what happened. Or it was Women's Day. Yeah, it was Women's Day because it was August. There was a function at church after that. So it was 2 months in the game. 2 months in the game of me being a born again Christian. I became a devotee of God. I became an interpreter at church, at that particular new church that I was started to go to. I was interpreting in English when the pastor or the prophet is talking in Sotho. So I was into deep, like I was dude. So at my house, they obviously used to do rituals, sometimes not even rituals. They used to do like ceremonies, Thanksgiving, every now and then, Thanksgiving to the ancestors, because we're still alive, everything is still good, everything is still intact. But there are no sangomas at my house. I want you to understand. Or in my family, like my extended family, we don't have sangomas. So it was just like that. I didn't see any sangoma growing up. And my sister's mother was a prophet and not a sangoma. So it was like I didn't know anything about the sangoma for real. Now, a lot of things happened, a lot of spiritual awakenings, a lot of distractions, and that is when I started into started kicking in, like for real now. Into started kicking in for real. And then that's when I had like my little whole phase. I had my whole phase. If you haven't seen those videos of my whole phase or my whole tales, I will link them down below so that you can just go and check them out. So yeah, it was that particular stage of my life, and I realized that, whoa, I need to slow back and just find myself again. Because one thing about me, I am able to start over. I'm not afraid to start over. I'm not afraid to let go of anything and anyone and any situation. I can just quickly say, okay, I'm starting over. Let's do this. Let's see what the next thing got for us. Remember, I said I passed for admission to grade 11. I sooner changed schools because I was honestly just in an abusive relationship with my ex. If you want to hear more about it, link in description box. So now I went to Parola Secondary School. And if you're a spiritual person, you know, man, not even if you're a spiritual person, like deja vus are a thing. Like you could just be in the moment and feel like, wait, I've been here before. This has happened before. Have I dreamt of this? Like where have I seen this? Like where is this coming from? So I started having a lot of deja vus that particular year. It was 2017. It was 2017. I was having a lot of deja vus to the point where even when I got to Deneysville Secondary School for the first day when I went to get my books, I felt like, oh my god, this environment feels so, it feels like home. It is so similar. It is so sentimental to my heart. It is so sacred, you know. It was a breath of fresh air for me. And if you went to that school, you know that particular tree that's in the middle of the yard. I saw that and I was like, oh word, I've seen this tree before. Where have I seen this tree before? It felt like a spirit. It felt like a spirit, and I don't want to lie, ever since I laid my feet in that school, my life totally changed. That particular year, 2017, my life changed because I started going to church less. And one thing that made me start to go to church less was the fact that I actually went to church one time, and I was doing my job interpreting as per usual. And then what had happened was, because I was sitting in front, because I want you to bear in mind that I'm an interpreter, the prophet said something like, he's literally spoke about all my dreams, the dreams that I'm having recently, that I've been having recently, spoke about them. And he said, if I'm talking about you, like, come in front so that I can pray for you. If I'm talking about you, those people who you constantly dreaming about, that are chasing you in your dreams, they are going to get you tonight, because I want you to remember that you had this particular dream the previous day. So if you don't come in front right now, those people who are constantly running after you in your dreams, those shadows, those people are going to get you, and they're going to crown you a queen of demons. So it was that time how no gets into the satanism about, like, queen of satanism about feeling mata abu ali fifi, like things like that, bro. He was talking about things like that, and then it was creepy. Plus, when I think about the dreams that I'm having, it was so lucid. I was, yo, bruh, if Opupa is tunywa and you see it in flesh, like you dream of dragons, you dream of big gigantic snakes. Those were my dreams. I was dreaming of shadows running after me. I was dreaming of so many things that are scary, you know. So yeah, that happened. And then when he was when he was saying all of those things, I got scared. I put my mic on the chair and then I stood up and went in front. And obviously I wanted to see if like no one is going to go in front, because I looked around the church, nobody was going in front. So it was like, they're talking about you, bitch, why don't you just go? I was scared, happy, or like, what are people going to say, man? Senor Tandazelwa, nah. And then I went in front. He prayed over me. I remember I had a breakdown going home, and it is a distance. If you know Bloodpool, like you can a Bloodpool, and obviously what's a Bloodpool because dude. I went from Skhopesabenya to my house and I took the longest way. I just took the longest way. I was walking in the dark. I was just in my head. I'm dehydrated and I don't have water. I took like the longest way because obviously I didn't go like that direction. I quickly just went ka tsela ka sekontiri se yang Orangeville, ka kena ka sekontiri, and I went ka sekontiri straight ka tsela yang Vereeniging, and then ebe le khona ke tlang gae. And if you know where I live, you obviously know how far it is. Was just having a breakdown, asking God, why me? What have I done? What is this all about? Where did I get these demons? How did I get possessed? Like, why me? Plus ngapha umjolo uyanyisa. Ngapha umjolo, ngapha abangani. Life was just in yo. It was falling apart, bro. And then obviously I feel so depressed. I'm so anxious about life. I don't know what is going on. Woo! It was crazy. It was crazy. I was feeling it that day. I was feeling it. And then I decided, oh, you know what? It is fine. It is fine. I don't know how I carried on with life after that, but like that is the only memory that I have of that phase of my life. Like honestly, that is the only memory that I have of what had happened spiritually. And then in that particular year I failed grade 11 and I repeated grade 11 the following year. And that December my parents realized that I'm going through it. Remember, this particular thing happened in like August, and then now I was, what happened? Oh, because I'm daddy's little girl, yeah. Because I'm daddy's little girl, my dad was going somewhere and then he went with me, and then he quickly just thought, oh, why doesn't he take me to the doctor? He took me to the doctor so that they can ask me a few questions if I'm okay, like what is the problem. I didn't say I don't know. I was just uninterested in life. I've lost all my interest. All that colorful life I was living, it was just dark. Everything. I remember I used to love drawing. Drawing was like, oh, what I used to love, and it used to calm me down. I used to love drawing a lot, bro. I was no longer drawing. I was always sleeping. I had no friends. I had like cut everybody off. No joy or nothing. It was given depressed. So yeah, they gave me a questionnaire, and then I filled it up. And then when they found the results, and because it was something like a quiz, they looked it up, and then in that doctor said, no, you don't have to be like this. I think we are diagnosing you with mild depression and anxiety. Excuse me. Yeah, you have mild depression and anxiety. So I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to suggest a doctor for you, a psychiatrist to be specific. I'm going to suggest a psychiatrist for you so that you can attend your sessions. And I don't want to lie. I think I went to those sessions. I went only once to that psychiatrist, and my dad came with me. Obviously he was there with me, and then I started seeing some things, and then the psychiatrist asked him to like please give me space. And then I was there, come on, alone, talking to him, and I didn't understand why I was there. I didn't. Oh, and it was the following year when that happened. It was the following year. Kabo, I was. I was diagnosed, I think, at December, and then my sessions had to be ka January, and then I went in January, and then they gave me like pills. Hated them. I hated antidepressants. They gave me antidepressants, and these ones, I don't know. These ones helps you with sleep, and then these other ones helps you with your mood or your hormones during the day. After you take it, no matter how depressed you are, you're going to be happy for the fucking whole day. I don't know why, but you're just happy. And then in that other one, you can't be a night owl because manji, after you eat, you have to take that pill, and after you take that pill, you shut down. You're dead. You're sleepy, is what I mean. So yeah, I had those pills. So I hated them so much. And on my second, when I was supposed to go for my second session, my dad was like preparing me to go. No, because I remember he once came to get me at school to like take me to that place. And I think I had like 2 sessions only, like not more than that, 2 sessions, and then I was out. And then this other time when he was telling me that I have to go for my sessions, I was like, no, dude, I'm cool. Like, I'm fine. I promise you, I'm 100% fine. I don't need those pills. I don't want anything. But I remember I was still depressed. Everything was blurry from the year 2018 itself. And then I resorted to razor blades, resorted to that. But this is not a story about my depression road, or rather, but it is about my spiritual journey. So I was depressed that year. The only thing that picked me up was the fact that I started a brand, a clothing brand, concerning body positivity. So it was that, and that's how meaningful this was to me. It was like the only thing that was there to like hold me down, to pick me up, and everything. I was in like smaller situations here and there, but then it was not, you know. So yeah, it was that, and then it was 2019, and then 2019 I started to blossom again, and then I started to blossom again. Oh, I feel like I'm lying. So many memories kicked back. Speedy fella. So now 2019, I was doing my matric year. Yeah. And bear in mind, I was no longer interested in school by that time, honestly. I was so over it. A lot of things were happening spiritually. This lucid dreams got worse and worse and worse and worse by the day. Hey, man, I would dream of people like literally just telling me to get out of a taxi. Like maybe I would dream of a dragon there. Dragon chasing me, chasing me, chasing me, and then I would run, get in a taxi. Everybody would be in danger. Everybody would be in danger. And then I would like get in a taxi. And I had get like a taxi. Like these people will literally tell me who are like, you know what? That thing wants you. So you better go out there and just surrender. Because you not going will literally just put all of us in danger. And that is what exactly happened. And what is weird is the fact that I never dreamed of a particular person to go to. Funny. 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 So that was the thing. I was dreaming of really scary things. I was dreaming of really scary things. So those were my dreams. That is exactly what like opened up in 2020 when I had to go to initiation. 2019 was so dull, man. It was so dull. It was so full of spiritual awakenings. It was hectic. It was hectic. It felt like each and every year my happiness would degrade. O kila bona di-price tsa dikoloi di etsang after 5 years. That's how my happiness would do. Every year it would just decrease, 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 decrease. I was Depressed is an understatement nakhona. Anxious is an understatement nakhona. I was in a very dark place, man. I was suicidal. I think, let's not even talk about my suicidal thoughts because I still have them namanje. Crazy, hectic. So that was it. And then, in long story short, I took a gap year, not by choice. Took a gap year. After taking a gap year, I just stayed at home. And these dreams were getting worse and worse and worse because now remember I'm no longer distracted by school. Now I can like literally get each and every dream and understand it to the full of my capacity. I remember, no, I didn't say this one thing. When I was growing up, I used to like dream of this particular girl. Every day I would hear those sounds. And when it was 2020, after I left school, I just always had those sounds. I would dream of those things. I'm fascinated because I always had a headache. I'm fascinated by shit. So I'm dreaming of the things like stationary, necessary stationery that you go with. I would dream of those things. I couldn't understand what the hell is going on. And now I dreamt of the faha. Remember someone's hand coming to my face. Ebusuku, ne? Saw it like in a form of a vision, not even dream about it. I saw it come to my face, and then I don't remember what really happened, but that is the only detail that I remembered. And then I was so paranoid from that day going forward because the whole year I was looking at sangomas feet and hands, trying to see who has these beats, because in my head I was thinking that person one lawyer ke yena motho o antseng ke tsa ke lore dintho tse ke labo. Actually it was those blue ones and the black and white ones, and then in the red and white, the way I saw them, I dreamt of like an old friend of mine bragging to me hore, hey, bona nna ke qetile wena o setse. That was it. I was like, what the hell? And then I started looking for that girl. Hey, I looked for that girl my whole entire 2020 and I couldn't find her. I think I found her in 2021 and I was done with my things by then. And then yeah, a few things happened at home, few arguments here and there. And now because I decided to like just leave my house and go live at Orangeville because yeah, if I'm not here, I'm there. Where I was, if I wasn't here, I was there, but now I'm 100% home. So yeah, went to chill that side, was living there, spending 90% with my girlfriend. It was giving vibes, but in honest fact, it was not fun. But the fun part of it came from the fact that I was independent. I was doing whatever I wanted to do, and I was just close to my person.
ha tla ya lefetlong ho ne le thata ho ne ho le boima because na bona dintho tse sa boneng ke batho a bona taba tsa batho a kgutla a sa utlwa le ntate wa hae a sa batle ho dula hae a phela a le siko ntlong a le nokeng batho ba go bolella hore a hlokomele ngwana a tsamaye go dula le malome wa hae a phela a le nokeng is there mo ileng ra ema ka maoto ga e sheba taba Victoria ra fumana hore ke nego a fumana motho a mo thusang ba tsamaya thotha ba tsamaya noka ke ka tsela eo Victoria e leng a kena lefehlong ka yona.
That was it. And then one time my mom called me home. She tricked me to coming home saying she misses me. And I went from home in March. I remember it was the 10th of March when I decided, Hori, I'm no longer coming back home. I'm packing my shit and going. It was the 10th of March. Went home from that date. And then I returned home on July, towards the end of July. I don't remember the date exactly, but I came here with my friend because I thought, well, if I came here alone, I'm not gonna go back. But then my mom was going to take me for a consultation, and I went to the consultation to my first kobela. Then she consulted me, and I figured out everything that I know of. And then I broke down and cried, and I had figured out that if I don't twasa, then a lot is going to happen to my family. My dad had already lost their car, a job. My mom kept on having miscarriages. I was slowly losing my eyesight. I had a problem with my knee, still have it. I still fall, but it's no longer as hectic as it used to be. Those knees that used to like flip to the side and like make me fall, it was all the things that Amadlozi are doing because I am ignoring. But I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand what the hell was going on with me. I am dude. So yeah, I figured out that I had a calling and I had to be initiated. I didn't process it at all. Why am I being emotional? The fuck? So I didn't process it at all. Like, even for a second. Well, I was living in Orangeville. I want you to bear this in mind. I would spend my days with my then girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend. 99% of my days I would spend it with her. I went home. I tell her Exeni that I'm going to see my mom. She asked me to come see her. And then imagine coming back later on and telling her, "Well, remember those dreams I was telling you about? I have a calling and I have to go. Like, I have to leave you here. I'm going for initiation." Oh, bruh. Yintoni eqhubekayo kaloku ke manje? So that was it. That was it. Oh, babe, my face. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, there's a line there now. I swear there's a line. How do I fix that? Wanna hear much? Are you stupid? Why are you crying? Why are you fucking crying? No, it's after school. And I'm not done and I don't want to be distracted. So yeah, man, imagine now I had to tell her that I am going. And I remember it was our first anniversary. On our first anniversary, we couldn't be together because I had my first ceremony that is preparing me to my spiritual journey to becoming a sangoma. I didn't even speak to her that day because here, so at my house, obviously, in El Tafule. Never in my life, not even for a day, been apostol. I didn't know what was happening to me. I was so overwhelmed with emotions. Yo, it was not giving. It was not giving at all, bras. And then I went into initiation. And then first day here, you know how it be, baupatela mole, you don't even know about patela, mabas baupatet, chelete, kai kai. You have to find it, how it's so tall, how it's jwang, how it's uli, how understand the hori, king, how it's be like, ba, ba re fela, siyavuma mcholoko, and then now I don't know, you play a mind game, a guess game, what I don't know what to call it, honestly. And then out of the blue, you now know what they want from you. It's weird. I still don't understand it even today. I've tried to make logic out of izinto, but there's no logic. It's magic. There's no logic. It still doesn't make sense to me. Holy, how? It's been 3 years, but I still have so many questions. I'm still trying to understand Hori, Shwang, how is it possible? How is it possible? So yeah, I got initiated the first time, and I don't want to lie, yeah? Like, I don't want to come here and lie. My first initiation was so smooth. Like, I don't want to lie to nobody. I don't, yo, I do not want to come here and say I was being abused emotionally. I don't want to come here and say I was abused in any way. The only thing that I've seen change towards the end was how I was treated. And one thing about me, as I said before, I am able to choose myself. And it took me so long to choose myself from this particular situation because I would voice out how I felt, not to Ukobela, but to other people. And it will always be like, how you literally have no choice but to begezela. And I was like, no, I can't. Well, I tried because I came back from initiation in November 2020 and 2022. Both my birthdays, I celebrated them at initiation. No presents, nothing. Dude. Not even visits. Kaloku dali. Not even birthday cake. Unless was cut. Brazi. My makeup is mushed. I have to make peace with that. It is mushed, bruh. It is mushed. Wow. Okay. I look like a motherfucking ghost. I think I will film other parts for now.
Ka tlile ho bona a na le 7 years hore o na le neo ya boporofeta. O na rata ho dula tshwere ke ditsebe. Ha tswa sekolong a bua hore ne ke tsamaya le nkgono wa ka a nkgutlela khoneng. Ha ke bua ka nkgono wa hae, ke bua ka motho a seng a iketse boya batho. Ke mo nkileng ka elellwa hore ngwanana o na le moya mara ha ka ka nka ka kenya kelellong. Ile ya feta until 2018 ke mo ke ileng ka elellwa hantle hore nthona e serious sa lora sefaha se re leng white a lora njethi ebile ona sa dilo bona di bona go tlo re dutse re shebeletse TV o tla o jetsa rona re shebile mo yena o tlo jetsa gore ke bona le selala tau le le sweng ke bona njethi ke bona eng ke mo ke tleleng ho elellwa hore jwale monana e se le taba tsa badimo. Ngwanana o na le neo and e tla re ha le the age of 9 years o tla be a fehlelwa. Ha tla ya lefehlong ho le thata ho ne ho le boima because na bona dintho tse sa boneng ke batho a bona taba tsa batho a kgutla a sa utlwa le ntate wa hae a sa batle ho dula hae a phela a le siko ntlong a le nokeng. Batho ba go bolella hore a hlokomele ngwana a tsamaye go dula le malome wa hae a phela a le nokeng. Is there mo ileng ra ema ka maoto ga sheba taba Victoria ga fumana hore ke neo a fumana motho mo thusang ba tsamaya thotha ba tsamaya noka. Ke ka tsela eo Victoria e leng a kena lefehlong ka yona after hore a ngole matric wa hae go tsho o kene lefehlong ka 2019 ka di 3 tsa August ka di 15 tsa August. Ke ikutlwa ke le motlotlo haholo ka yena hobane ke fumana e le ngwana a monyane haholo dilemong empa e le ngwana ileng a mamela a mamedisisa a utlwa a ba a utlwisisa ebile ka ba ka hopola le la mangolo ka haro bebele le re hlompha mao le ntatao matsatsi ao a tla ketsehe lefatsheng leo hlileng ke Jehova Modimo wa hao. Ke ile ka fumana e le ngwana a ileng a itlama ka ho nka boikarabelo ba batho ba baholo. O ile a mamela, a hlompha, a ba a hlompha le mekolokotwane, hobane o ile a ba le tsebe ya ho mamela batho ba seng ba iketse ya batho. Whereas e le hore rona re re ha